Welcome to Slope Charts. You can get to these charts a couple of ways. One, from the slopeofhope.com website, you can go to the Analyze tab and choose Slope Charts, or as a time saver, you can simply type in slopecharts.com. It'll take you to the exact same place. But I wanted to give you a quick intro to the product. And if there's one key word for this, it's simplicity. Because when I was looking around, I did not set out to make another charting product. I thought I was done with that. But in my quest to find one for myself, I was very frustrated because I have had decades of computer experience, and I found the charting products out there just baffling and or bad. So I wanted to make my own, and that's why it exists principally. So I wanted to share with you the features. The features will be growing all the time. I suspect that over the course of time, there'll be a lot of new features heading out. But let's get started with what it exists in its present form. Easiest thing to do, of course, is just get a symbol. And frankly, on other sites, I found even that kind of challenging. Like, well, where do I start? You just punch it in. So Facebook, for example, FB, or AAPL, Apple, and so forth. So the moment you hit the page, you don't even have to move your cursor. You can just start banging in symbols, and they'll appear. I'll just type in a couple more to show you another feature here, which is that as you enter symbols, it remembers everything that you're typing. And if you want to go backward and forward through that list, you can do so quite easily. You may notice here how instantaneously the charts load now. Once you've loaded it once during a given day, it's pretty much instant after that point because it's loaded the history in memory, and it'll update the present day price bar. But these left and right arrows here will allow you to thumb backwards and forwards through your own history. Now, as far as data types go, the product principally was created for stock data, but there are some other data types right now. We do have some futures, like /ES is the E-mini, and NQ is the NASDAQ. We don't have an exhaustive list, but there are kind of some big boys here. And the cool thing about them is they go back way back in time. Here's wheat, for example, back to the 1950s. And so we've also got stocks, we've got futures, and we also have some index data. It's not a huge list, but it's enough to get you started. And it's basically the first watch list you get is the index list. So you've got that at your disposal, and you don't have to know the symbols by heart. Now, watch lists is really where I began the product. When I started developing it, that was the very first thing I did, because I hate to keep bashing other products here, but watch lists are terrible everywhere else. Either terrible or they don't exist at all. And I like to keep things organized, and watch lists are incredibly important. And so as new as this product is, I would say SlopeCharts watch lists are better than anything else out there, period. It's very simple to use. You just click on the watch list word here to create a watch list. So you could say, for example, local stocks, whatever. And you can also import a text file. Like if you've got a text file of symbols, you can do that. I'm going to delete this because I don't want it. And here are my own watch list here. These are, of course, my own creation. You're not going to see these names in yours. You'll simply start off with what are called indexes. But you can create them and move things to and from them as you like. And so when you right-click on a watch list name, it allows a number of different things. You can add a symbol to that list, move all the contents of the list somewhere else, or copy them somewhere else. You can rename the list itself. You can delete the entire list, or you can export the contents of the list to a text file. You can also move symbols from list to list. So I could move, for example, just drag and drop LL from this list to the other and back. And you can see the destination list kind of glows when I'm over it. But these are like file folders where I keep all these symbols, because I look at hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of symbols every single day. And this is a way to keep my world sane. Like right now I have 60 different short positions, and hey, no longs. How about a surprise for there? So these are my watch lists. This is kind of like the center of my entire universe here. And, voila. What else can I tell you? Well, let's move on to these goodies up here, all these icons. Let's go through these different sections. Let's talk about the pointer first. Now, the pointer can be 4 different types. The first one is just an arrow, which is the simplest of all. As you can see, I'm moving about, and it's very, very simple. It just shows an arrow, and I can just drag my mouse anywhere I want and double-click to unzoom. And it tells you that anyway when you first start the program. It'll remind you that double-clicking unzooms. But I usually use just the pointer. Some folks like to have a vertical one so they can see very precisely, what bar it is that they're pointing at. Some folks might want to use the horizontal, which shows you the price level. And you can use them both. This is the crosshairs. And it'll remember which one of these you use. So I prefer pointer, and so the next time I use it, it'll be on that automatically. Then there's these display icons here. This changes the chart type principally. So we've got an open, high, low, close chart. We've got a simple line chart. Candlestick, which also colors them, green or red based on whether it's up or down day. And then next to that, we've got this pair of icons which toggles between logarithmic scale and arithmetic scale. Now, it's not very clear when I'm zoomed in, but you can see very dramatically what a big difference it makes when I've got an entire chart here. Or let's do something even more crazy like NVIDIA, which has been an incredible stock. You can see that on a logarithmic scale it looks like that, arithmetic scale looks bonkers. And the last icon of this set is this full screen right here. I'm not going to show you that because it'll just blow up and be really big, but I almost always am in full screen mode because it occupies the whole screen. It gives me lots and lots of room to work. Now, my favorite section, the one I use the most, is right over here, which is all the different drawing tools. Now, normally I'm just on this magnifying glass, which is just no drawing tool at all. It's just standard looking at charts and zooming in. However, we've got several drawing tools here. The simplest one is the trend line. And so you choose that, and you just click, drag, and click again. And SlopeCharts does a great job of clinging to what it assumes is the top or the bottom of the bar. It's better than Profit Charts actually in this respect. It just does a fantastic job. You'll see what I mean when you try it. But it's very simple to just absolutely nail to the penny precisely where you want to be. And that's the same with all these drawn objects. We've got the horizontal line, and these two trend line and horizontal line I use constantly. But you just click where you want it to begin, and then you click the level you want it to be at. So here again, I'm looking at decades of data here, but even so, I can nail precisely the day. That one right there. Zoom in real tight. See where the anchor point is? I got the exact day, even from like outer space here where I'm at. So it does a dynamite job of that. In fact, that's a nice one. I'm going to leave that horizontal line there. Didn't even see that before. Obviously, the anchor points allow you to change any drawn object. You just click on it once, and the two anchor points will appear. And I'm not going to change it, but you can just drag this around any way you like. And as you mouse over any drawn object, it'll tell you some information about that object. We've also got this rectangle highlighting tool. You just click, drag, and click. And we've got this channel tool. This will be an awful channel, but just to illustrate, click, drag, click, just like a trend line, and then you get this, and you click that somewhere else. Now, since I got this mess on the screen, I'll just delete some stuff. So I can right-click on any object and say delete or delete all. I don't want to throw all this stuff away, so I'll just say delete. And I'll go over here and say delete on this too. And each of these objects has its own unique elements that you can choose. Oh, and also this Fibonacci. How could I forget? So that F there's for Fibonacci. Just click, drag, and click. But again, you've got the ability in each of these to modify the properties of that given drawn object to your liking, and it's self-evident what they allow you to control. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you want more help under the Analyze tab, there's all kinds of helpful little articles, and if you have requests or ideas, just write tim@socialtrade.com. I'd love to hear them. Thanks, and enjoy the product.